Hi, and welcome to Lynes on Design. I have to say that we were just saying make new friends, but keep the old. I've got a gold friend here today. We're at Endangered Arts. Julie Rogers had joined us. Time goes like this.
I know, we've been here 24 years. I don't even know how that's happened.
Well,
and I've known you that whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is every time I come in, it's like a new experience. So I encourage everyone, if you haven't been in for a while, you've got to come in. Who are we talking about today? I'm really excited.
We're talking about Rodell, and the reason we're talking about him is you can see behind me, he paints for my photography, so it's all local art. So if you're moving here and you don't want to use your art from where you're coming from,
yes,
this will fit perfect into your new house. And he'll do commissions. If you have a photograph that you like, but you want him to paint it, he'll do that. He paints from my photos, so that's kind of what you're seeing back here. It's just fun to have something that is local, the birds, the turtles, that's hanging on your wall.
When I first met you, I remember looking at your photographs, and they were absolutely so beautiful and inspirational, and now to see them come alive in art is pretty spectacular.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about how he works. What do you photograph? Obviously nature, and then what does he do with those photographs?
He just uses the photographs as reference. He doesn't, like a lot of people say, he paints over them. He doesn't do that. These are all original paintings.
Okay.
So the only thing he does with mine are reference. He doesn't live here, so he can't, see what I see. So a lot of times he will ask me for things.
Okay.
But then a lot of times I'll just send him something and I'll get the painting back and I'm like, oh wow.
My gosh.
Well, kind of like this.
Yes.
I did that, and this one's very popular because this is what this area looks like.
It's so funny, as I'm sitting here talking, I just had a design client call me and go, we're moving to Naples, but I really want something that's indicative of Hilton Head. And I'm looking, and I saw this, I saw this. I mean, something that just when you looked at it would speak to here in the Low Country.
You know it's from here.
Can you share with us a little bit about one of the newer ones here?
Yeah, this is
fun.
An iconic scene. This is, of course, the lighthouse that everybody associates Hilton Head with when you see it on the golf tournament. And this is what you see with Hilton Head. And that's what Rodell painted. And when you see the painting in person, there's so much detail.
Oh.
I mean, it's just incredible what he can do.
Well, you look and you wonder at first if it's actually a photograph. It's that precise and detailed.
Exactly.
What's fun for me is the pop of red in the lighthouse, which again says the Low Country.
Exactly.
Is there a story behind there?
Well, it is kind of funny. He was just here in October, and the lighthouse wasn't red and green. I mean, excuse me, red and white. And he was walking out, and he came back, and he brought his paints back in, and he said, I need to paint that lighthouse red, and he did before he left. Another thing I have to mention about Rodell is he also paints for Star Wars.
Well, I was just going to, as I'm looking at Yoda over here,
Yeah.
I walked in and I was like,
yeah, he paints for Star Wars as well as Disney. So for him to paint for my photos and then paint for, something as iconic as that, it's a pretty big deal.
Well, for you folks who really are Star Wars aficionados, you've got a great representation here of his work.
We do, and he's, it's just so much fun to see the diversity of his art. I mean, who can paint a Yoda and a turtle? I mean, really, how much difference is that?
I totally agree with that. What are some of the big sellers here? What do you like, and how do people select? The real question is not how do they select, but I think size and scale are really important to me as a designer.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so talk me through that.
Well, a lot of people come in with a specific area in mind, and then we try to help narrow down what they're really interested in. If they come in and want something that is totally Hilton Head, we'll just kind of guide them to, of course, Rodell.
Yeah.
And then, they'll start looking at it and they know this is here.
And my mantra is good art does not have to match your sofa.
Yeah.
I mean, if you love it, then you need to get it.
Exactly.
One of the things that you guys have done very efficiently and effectively to me too is to come out, look at a client's space, recommend.
Yes, Clay's really good at that.
He is good.
We'll even let you keep the artwork overnight just to make sure it works, because we want you to be happy. Then you'll come back.
And here's the difference with you all too. I mean, can you tell I've known her for a gazillion years? Exactly. Is I'm big on lighting.
Yes.
Well, do you know why I'm big on lighting? Because I've learned from you all that art is best displayed if it has the correct lighting. And I don't think a lot of us know about that.
They don't. And, you know, it's more and more popular now because when people are building houses,
Right.
they can go ahead and, you know, do that
That's
up front.
exactly right.
And then when they hang their art, it's ready to go.
Makes a huge difference. Now, another artist that I know you and I both love,
Yes.
that we're going to take a quick peek at too, is Coleman.
It's James Coleman.
Let's walk over there and check that one out too.
Okay.
All right. Julie Rogers, Endangered Arts. We've moved around the gallery and we've landed on James Coleman, and I'm super excited. He is one that you have had here at Endangered Arts for quite a while.
He started off with us 24 years ago, which is hard to believe. But yeah, he's one of the ones that helped us start Endangered Arts because we didn't know what we were doing. And he was kind of getting started because he was painting for Disney. And so we feel like, you know, he's a great addition to the gallery, but he's also a really good friend. He comes here and he does shows, and we just love him.
Well, and it's funny, as we walked over, the first thing I said, I think I have a client for this piece, and we looked. And one of the things I think people don't really understand about Endangered Arts is really from a price point standpoint, you run the gamut.
We really do. We have a huge price range. If you want originals or if you want reproductions, we try to have a little bit of everything for you, as well as prices and style. And so you know, you just have to come in. There's so many great things. If I didn't own this store, I would shop here.
I totally agree with that.
Because I love what's in here.
Well, and I think the other thing is sometimes people come in and they're a bit intimidated when they come to an art gallery. Do you find that too?
We do, and we try to make you feel comfortable. We
Exactly.
don't bother you. We let you look around. If you want to look for hours and then come get us, or we just keep checking in with you, because there's a lot to see in here.
Well, and again, I think it's really important for people to feel comfortable. And sometimes when you come to a gallery, you know, you're almost overwhelmed with all of the pieces of work. And that's what is so nice. I've walked with you a million times and just said, okay, explain to me what I'm looking at, because we don't know what we don't know. And I'm going to ask that now of Coleman. I look at two very different, what I look at is not stylistic, but rich jewel tones, heavy frame, just got some mass to it, as opposed to this very light, more low country natural. And there are places for everything. Talk to me about his work.
Well, again, he's so diverse. He can paint anything. But this is one of his new pieces. He loves to paint the wine country because, of course, who doesn't like wine? Other than me, I don't drink it.
I do.
And then he does the watercolors, which are soft and just, this is one of my favorite pieces. You know, he loves to paint the low country because he loves it here. He loves our trees, and he says this area is just so gorgeous, which it is. So you're right, this whole wall is his, so it's a collection of his. He can do anything, and he loves to keep reinventing himself.
Okay.
So if you're a collector, you can keep collecting because it's not the same. Everything's different.
Can you talk to us about the experience as a consumer you would have when you walk into Endangered Arts and you find a piece? All right, I come in, I fall in love with this, but I'm not really sure. I think one of the most impressive things that you did was you took me back to a viewing area. You removed the piece that I was interested in. Talk to us a little bit about how
we've got a viewing
works.
room, and what we do is
It's really cool.
We take just one piece, so it looks more like at-home setting for you, because it is a little overwhelming in here. There's a lot of art. So we take it back there, let you sit on the couch, kind of envision what it's going to look like in your home.
Different lighting.
Exactly, different lighting. And then, you know, we'll even bring it out and let you look at it in your environment, because that's important. What it looks like in here may look totally different at your house. So we make it easy for you. Clay is wonderful.
Yeah, and I think, again, sometimes you think you're coming in for one thing, but when you actually get into the gallery, you find that you fall in love with things you never thought you'd fall in love with.
And that happens all of the time. So you know, that's why we have so many different things. And like I said earlier, a lot of people are moving here, so your artwork may not work with what you had before.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's why you have to come in here. I'm so proud of everybody that we carry. They're all good friends of ours, and they're incredibly talented.
And it's funny, again, I can say this because I would bring my mom and dad in.
Yeah, you're a collector.
Yeah, I am now. And they have pieces, and it's funny because they tell stories based on your stories, because they feel really a kinship and a part of the artists that
Yeah.
they've collected now.
Yeah, because they've met them, and
exactly.
they're so personable. I mean, when they come and do shows, it's just so much fun because you talk to them. They're
Yep.
painting while they're here, and we'll talk about that when one of the later shows when they're coming back.
Well, yeah, we
But,
definitely have to do
yeah.
that because you've had some wonderful
we
exhibitions
have.
and parties
We've been
and
so
things
blessed
like
that these guys take it out of their busy schedule to come here. But this is one of their favorite places to come. They love
You
it.
know, for the two people in the world that might not know how you got started in this, it's really kind of an interesting story.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that one day because I don't know if we have enough time.
Look at
but-
my Lines on Design girl. You are so good. This is not your first. You're not your first rodeo,
Well, and my
little
last
girl.
either, so-
Exactly. Oh,
so-
Julie, thank you. Stay with us. Believe it or not, there's more to come.